Hi, welcome to April. Well, we got through March, and I thought I would have so much to say about all the craziness, but we all know already that March is pretty back and forth. I think we left off around the 28th. Um, Everything after that, the 29th, I believe, was a blue-gray. It was a hazy, kind of clean, but it was gray with a white sky. In fact, there was a white sky for 3 days. The clouds were white. There was no blue anywhere, but it wasn't really dark because that sun is right behind it. There's a 30th was a greenish kind of haze to it. And on the 31st, it was a pale greenish, more white than green. And then we were done. And April 1st was the same white, but to me, I felt this really intense, empty palette kind of white, you know? Like it's ready. The gusso's been put on, the base coat is there, the palette is ready for whatever April's going to throw at it, and I think we're going to see a little more vibrancy in the colors, and most likely less dramatic, even though there weren't really any horribly dark days. There were a couple there in the beginning, and a couple maybe in the middle, but not close together. It's been mostly just white and pale green and pale gray, and March it pulls back and it wants to go forward and it pulls back, and we all kind of feel that way. We want it to be over, but we know when it is, and April is a very busy, it's a different kind of month. So much happens all at once, and so many things. If you're in the country, and if you live in any means off the land, you understand that this is a very important month. This is the month that the peas get put out and the potatoes get planted, and there's just a lot that happens, and the asparagus starts to push up. Oh, anyway, I am starting to get a little excited about it, but I guess just to see, this is our April line, and this was our 1st of March, so we got through the whole month, and now we have this lovely bright green today. I'm choosing to notice this beautiful bright green. I've also noticed today that the pussy willows are at their absolute puffiness, and that they will start to wither probably quite soon past this time. I think I'm going to propagate a few branches this year. I would like to make some coppices that I can grow some nice sticks from and cut every year. I've always planned to do that, and I owe every spring of most of my adult life. I think I have seen the pussy willows and said, I want my own pussy willow tree that I can cut from every year. And I've just never done it, and I don't know why, because I have land, I have the room, I have the means, and I know how to do it. So I think that for the month of April, if I get that actually done, that will be one more thing out of my head that I just want to try and get the things that have been perennially on my mind as they come up year after year after year. If it's something that keeps returning to me, I want to pay attention to it. I want to listen to the voice in my head. And the pussy willow tree that I can cut from every year is something I've always wanted. So within the next day or two, I intend to stop with my clippers in a ditch on the side of the road and pick a few off the branches. So I think I'll probably narrow this down to every couple of weeks. Certainly have a beginning and an end, and maybe somewhere in the middle. But I am anticipating how we can brighten up this April segment and give it some true. So what we have here from the middle of April and to about almost the middle of May is this triangle, which I call true spring. This is true spring. This is the very middle of spring, and there are the week and a half in between where all the things you associate with spring are happening at that point. So this year we're having our long weekend, Easter weekend here at the first of the month. And because that changes here and there and back and forth, it kind of goes back and forth over that line. And that's okay, because the whole the whole vibe of this whole segment here is just rebirth, renewal, the promise of reliving and returning. So that's the big word of the day, the returning. So, thanks for joining me along my little art project here. A lot of the things I probably say I can't repeat 1,000 times, but yeah, this calendar, this wheel has been in my mind since I was a little girl. And I could tell you 100 stories of how it's applied and where I've used it and how it's just been a part of me, and I've drawn it 1,000 times, but I've never painted it, and not on this scale. And I've always either tucked it away or whatever. I want this in my face every day. I just want to know where I am on the wheel, the color that, I don't know. And I don't know where it's going in the middle. So I did write down March, April. I put the vernal line here, but aside from the few things I've put, there's a million more things I want to get in there. I want to squeeze it all in. I don't want to waste any room, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. I just want to play with today. And so I'm just observing the colors at the moment, and we'll see where it goes from there. Anyway, happy April, and we will see you again in about a week and a half, and so we'll have our first weeks of April colored in, and it should be very pretty. It's starting to look great already. I love it. Okay, bye.